We'll call the meeting to order. This is the Carson City Advisory Board to Manage Wildlife on August 8th, 2025, getting started right at 5:35. Let's go ahead and call to, or have roll call. Brianna, can you
Yeah.
do that, please?
Chair Beamer,
Here?
Vice Chair Wilson, Member Fleming, Member Stewart,
Here.
Member Thompson.
Present.
A quorum is present.
Thank you. Let's go ahead and stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. And Member Stewart, would you lead us in that, please?
I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Two. All right. Public comment is, we have two public comment periods. The public is invited at this time to provide comment on any topic that relates to the matter over which this public body has supervision, control, jurisdiction, and advisory power, including any such matter that is not specifically included on this agenda as an action item. But no action may be taken on a matter raised during the period of public comment. We'll have a public comment period at the end as well. Seeing nobody here in Carson. Brianna, do we have anybody like on the phone or anything? Okay, perfect. So we'll close public comment unless any of my board members want to do a public comment. No? Okay. We'll move on to agenda item number 5, which is approval of the meeting minutes for the July 11th, 2025 meeting that we have. You guys all had that as part of your packet that Brianna and the city clerk's office provided. Is there any, hopefully you all got a chance to review that, any changes, recommendations of changes or amendments? And if not, I would entertain a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion to approve by Member Thompson, seconded by Member Stewart. Any further discussion? Seeing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Agenda item number 6. This is an informational item where we update the attendees of this meeting on the July 13th and 14th, 2025 Nevada Board of Wildlife Commissioners meeting. I had something come up on Friday. So Member Thompson actually attended that meeting, and he did give a report to me that they talked a lot about all the reports. They did some presentations, which were great. There was presentations on thermal imaging and on the potential of developing a houndsman permit, along with demerit points for utilizing certain devices. Chris, we kind of went through that in general at our last meeting. We'll see some of that today on our agenda today as well. And then Saturday was pretty much reports from, again, and Member Wilson. Member Wilson went ahead and gave public comment on behalf of the CAB on the items that we discussed and that we took action on. So he said it was a pretty mild, or pretty streamlined meeting. He said, and that our action that we took seemed to be the sentiment of the majority of the other CABs as well. So that's about all I have to report on that. So anything else on that? Okay. Agenda item number 7 is an information item where we get an update on or activity report on the Carson City Urban Wildlife Committee. I'm not sure if I reported on this or not, but Brianna reached out to me in regards to a gal from the gosh darn it, I forget the name of the community, but it's over behind where the new Carl's Jr., where Burger King used to be, kind of back there. There's like a HOA community back there that has a big pond. Lake Glen, yes, yeah. Lake Glen. That's exactly what it is. And so somebody reached out to me about their apparent wildlife sanctuary that they have back there, and it was a great opportunity. She was hoping that she could get money from us to be able to help with some of the habitat rejuvenation and restoration over there. And we talked a lot about it. And she said, "Yeah, we want money from you, but none of the public can come and use it." And I said, "Well, first of all, we don't have like a pool of money that we can provide you. You should go to these organizations, Department of Wildlife, through their Habitat Fund can consider a donation to you. But normally they ask that if we're donating money to you, that the whole entire community should enjoy what's being improved upon." And so it gave me an opportunity to kind of educate her a little bit. And she had quite a bit of misinformation. So anyway, it was a good opportunity to educate her a little bit. She felt like the deer and, we need to put fences up around their community and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, that's not going to happen. Right. So that's a city thing, not us, So it was great. It was great to really get a chance to visit with her. And I think she was appreciative that somebody got back to her and stuff. So other than that, I do want to say that we had a agricultural group where we did like a wildlife and tour, kind of a wildlife watching tour where we took a whole bunch of peewee kids out and got to show them raptors and stuff that were feeding on cattle after birth and stuff, the remnants of what was there, and that kind of the last part of it there in midsummer, and that was kind of fun. They learned a lot, I think, and enjoyed that. Thought it was pretty cool. So other than that, I don't have anything else to report on. I'm sorry to tell you guys that we still have not gotten any traction with NDOT or NDOW, urban wildlife, and with the Con Ed division. I'm still working with Zach to come up with a date that we could present to the Board of Supervisors. But when that happens, I'll let you guys know. And they kind of felt like it would be better happening after summer just because there were so many activities going on during the summertime. And I get it, so I didn't push any more when we talked about it last time. So other than that, I'll close out agenda item number 7 and go to agenda item number 8. These are all a discussion only, and what we classify as reports or informational. There is kind of the standard ones, the activity reports, litigation report, the wildlife health update. There's no material on that to help us with that. I think that's going to be a presentation at the meeting. I think it's going to be an interesting presentation to kind of take a look at and see what data they have. And then they're approving a bunch of public works contracts. I'm pretty familiar with those just because I've been called in on quite a few RFPs on those as an evaluation member. So I'm pretty clear on what they're trying to get there. The mule deer population ecology and management in Nevada, that report is always a great one. They do it every like 3 or 4 years usually. And so I'm looking forward to hearing about that. There's a bats and abandoned mine report that they're going to do, and then they're going to have like a field trip on Friday night where they take everybody out to view bat habitat and stuff. It's pretty cool. If you've never done it before and you want to go do that, by all means, have at it. The Emerging Technologies Committee report and the Tag Allocation Hunt Application Hunt Committee. That report is going to be interesting because our friend Cody Knight from their group, their houndsman group, they actually have been pretty successful in getting the department to decide on that a houndsman permit might be a good idea. And so the downside is that they are just doing a blanket permit, it looks like, what they're proposing, and that they're not limiting non-residents. So I am going to attend both these meetings. They're in the next couple of days. I'll send out the agenda if you haven't already seen it. I know, Brianna, I think you sent it out, didn't you? The agenda for the Emerging Technologies Committee and the Tag Allocation and Application Hunt Committee. Those two meetings, one's at 4 and one's like at 5, but on 2 different days. So take a look at those. I think it'd be good for us as CAB members to at least participate in that and be able to see exactly what they are proposing here. I know we've talked about this pretty extensively, and this is a great opportunity, I think, for us to kind of help try and bring something to the finish line. You know what I mean? That I think is really a worthwhile petition, if you will. So give that some thoughts there. Any of these items that any of you gents would like to pull for discussion or further discussion? They didn't give us a lot of stuff on them. Yeah. So if hearing none, then I'd move on to agenda item number 9, if that's okay.
Well, I do have a question for you
Okay.
on what was the trespass discussion. Do you know anything about that one?
Yeah, no, I'm glad you said that. So this will be interesting to hear because this is going to be that's 8J. I didn't go far enough. I apologize.
No, it's okay.
This is going to be interesting because it's gonna. I'm hoping that again there was no information on what they're going to be presenting on. So I kind of
When I looked at it, I'm like, well, there's nothing to
exactly
go with this. So
exactly. And so again, I think it is a discussion. I think they're going to talk about the Supreme Court ruling that came down
About the corner
about
crossing?
the
Is it the Supreme Court or is it the 10th Circuit?
either one.
Is it 10th
I- there was-
Circuit? I think they're pushing it through the Supreme Court. I don't know if
Yeah.
you've heard it yet.
Yeah, but I mean, mere fact is that it's very evident, and I don't know if you guys got a chance to read Senator Hanson's, Ira Hanson's. I thought it was really good, man. Like, I don't know if you guys got a chance to read it all, but you should. Like, I got to tell you, I thought, he brings up some viable points. I don't always agree with the guy, but I got to tell you, he brings up some viable points, and I agree 100%. Like, I've been affected by that personally with the closure at in the Pequops in Area 7. I hunted that my whole life, man. And all of a sudden, you have some private group that comes in and buys all the checkerboarded private ground up, and then they put a fence around everything on their corners to where you can't access any of the checkerboarded ground. Well, it specifically states in that ruling, right, that you absolutely have to provide access to that
Or it's
ground.
not illegal. I mean, you can climb fences.
Oh, you can pull the fences down. He says in there. You know what I mean? I want to verify that before I say that publicly.
Yeah, I
but
wouldn't go that far about pulling fences.
I mean,
but,
I'm telling you, the way he worded that, it was that you pretty much you're lawfully able to take down a fence or a access point if it's locked, or unlock the gate, break the lock off of it. That's what it says in that report. Like,
I got to read it all.
I was like surprised. I went back like 3 times and read that. And so I think that's what this is going to be talking about. I think it's going to be centered around his Senator Hanson's that his white paper that he put out, and rightfully so. I think that it's good for the department to develop some coordination with him. I know there's not very good blood between that guy and the department, and I don't know if there ever will be, but the department's a public entity. They have a responsibility, regardless of the past, to put forth at least effort to be able to do that. All of us as state agencies have that, right? So anyway, that's what I'm assuming that it's going to be that way. I did reach out to Jake and asked his opinion on it. He didn't even know. So, and I called Alan, and he's on vacation this week, so he didn't have a no. Caleb texted me and said, "You know what? I'll have to get back to you, man, because I'm just now finding out about this as well." So I think it's going to be something that was brought on by the commission, a commission member, and they have the right to do that, right?
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes. I think I'm looking forward to that one.
Oh, yeah. Because it all started in Wyoming over at the Elk Mountain property.
Yeah, exactly.
That's sort of like where I could go for my Wyoming elk, is just southwest of there.
Yeah. Anyway, it'll be interesting to see what happens on that. So that's about all I got on that, Kirk. I wish I had more for you.
Well, that was my thought, was it the corner crossing part of it, so that would be the only thing I could come up with.
Yeah. Yeah. I was what I immediately thought went to was that. So, any other questions or any other discussion on the agenda item number 8A through J? Seeing none, we'll go on to agenda item number 9, which is our consent agenda. This is one that we usually have to take action on items. There are a few that are not customary items, so we're going to be discussing a regulation. This will be the second or third workshop that they've had on this, where they're establishing demerit points associated with trail camera and thermal imaging devices being used during closed seasons. It's interesting that they're going immediately to a 12 demerit point system on that, and I'm a little bit concerned about that. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but that would be one that I was hoping maybe we could just get everyone's thoughts on in case we have to make public comment on it.
I mean, it really doesn't, when I look at it, is that in regards to like the thermals, I mean, you know, it's against regulation. I mean, it's pretty obvious. It's been communicated. And if you,
Well, they haven't developed a regulation on thermal stuff yet. They developed the regulation on trail cams.
right?
Yeah,
Right.
but the thermal stuff is still they're still
They haven't
developing
finalized it?
regulation on that,
And
and
how can you remove the 12 demerits?
they want it to go in conjunction with it. So
Oh.
once they pass it, they want to have the demerit points, all the demerit points already decided on during that time. And I'm like, man, what's the point of going to? I mean, you're almost treating that worse than you are treating poaching, for crying out loud. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's like, and I'm still a little bit out on the whole thermal imaging. I mean that there's certainly that argument to make that when you bring up the fair chase aspect of it, right? I mean, we can make that argument for using binoculars, scopes on your gun, frickin' rangefinders, all that stuff.
No.
Really?
It's not the
'Cause-
same as thermals.
How do you figure though? Like,
Because you can use a scope or you can use binoculars and not be able to see a game animal, but you use thermals, you're going to see that heat signature, and it's a dead giveaway. The technology now is way beyond. And I was reading within it, they're reviewing a guide service or a sub guide
Yeah.
in regards to using thermal imaging at night to track animals so that they can increase client success on the following morning.
and I don't like the idea that just looks bad, right?
Right.
I think.
So I
And
think
certainly, I think that passes the fair chase threshold. You know what I mean? But using them for like hunting coyotes,
Oh, yeah, but
using them for hunting mountain lions, no, it would be illegal to do that.
for coyotes?
Yep,
Because coyotes considered a game animal now?
yep. But they don't care. Using them, period, for anything out where there's a hunting season.
Oh,
You could be cited for that.
right.
So you could be out hunting and say, "No, hey, we're coyote hunting, man, at night." I mean, the season's not really even going.
Yeah.
You can say, "We're coyote hunting," and they're like, "You got a thermal imaging scope or binoculars? You're getting a citation and you're losing your tag, everything." You know what I mean? So I think they're taking it a little bit too far. You know what I mean?
I think they are too. There's a fine line. I mean, I don't agree that guides are out there sitting up all night watching animals so they can get their clients a better animal in the morning. That's wrong. Go after those people. Don't go after the ones that are out just coyote hunting and truly out coyote hunting.
Yeah.
I was thinking like at least put a carve out for hunting coyotes and varmints.
And
You know what I
mountain
mean?
No.
And mountain lions too. And they know they don't even. I mean, that's like the worst thing ever. They don't want to include that.
Wow.
So
I
And they need to.
Something to have up for discussion.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you guys want us to give any kind of a position on this. I'm leery to take a negative position on this. I I agree with the, to a certain extent, the fair chase part of it, and especially, with regard to guides and stuff. But how do you make that distinctive line? The only way I can think of doing it would be, listen, you have to have some exclusions, right?
Mhm.
So excluding like coyotes, excluding,
Lions.
and I guess law enforcement's concern with that is, how do we enforce that then? If you make these exclusions, anybody can use the excuse that, oh, well, we were out there mountain lion hunting, or we were out there, coyote hunting.
How many guys are out there sitting in an elk-rich area in the middle of the night with thermals?
Yeah, that's not going to fly, I can assure you. But my thought was, so you got to catch them in the act,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Oh, yeah.
Which
Like,
means
I
you have
mean-
to work different hours.
So I mean, if you got evidence that they used that on the animal,
Mhm.
right? You witnessed it, or somebody eyewitnessed it, then that's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah.
Right.
But that just means they have to be out there working more and at night.
Yeah, and I understand there are constraints and stuff like
I
that.
get it too.
But I don't know. I think that sometimes we overregulate.
It's a pretty broad statement that they're making.
Yeah. So anyway, so on that, I think that's good discussion we've had. I agree with Member Thompson's assertion with regard to, there are certain times when, yes, it is unethical. A guide using that to try and get his client a better animal at night, you know what I mean? Have a bunch of sub guides out looking at where animals are at. You still got to get the animal out of wherever they're at. It just does give you a little bit of an advantage to know that they're in there. So, I get it. I agree with you on that. I do. So, I don't know. Did you guys want to take a position on that, or do you want to remain neutral on it?
No, I think you take a position in regards that it's too stringent, and that you should find evidence that it was used in the taking of the game, and that it should not be applicable in regards to predator and mountain lion chase. If you're out in the woods at, after dusk, and you have thermals on you, it could be construed that you're using them to locate game. And I think I think you crossed the threshold on that one.
Yeah.
But during the day, if you had just have it in your, you need to show that you actually use it.
And
but-
could you make a case on somebody who you saw was out that night, went back to the same area,
Mhm.
harvested a beautiful animal
Right.
the next day,
Yeah.
right?
I think there's enough circumstantial evidence to support that you did use
Yeah.
imaging if it's found in your possession.
Yeah. That's what investigation's for, right?
Yep.
I don't know. That's how I look at it. So
I agree.
are you guys in agreement with that? Like, you want to take
Absolutely.
a position of support with the exclusion for coyotes, predators, mountain lions,
Well, varmint hunting to include
Yeah,
coyotes and
varmint
mountain lions.
in general, because bobcats can be hunted, or not bobcats, but
Well, bobcats.
bobcat, but badgers
okay.
at night. So it's just a really broad.
Yeah, it's too.
They need to narrow it quite a bit to make it actually work,
Okay.
at least for me.
Okay. So I will say that we support with exclusions, okay? And that we would encourage NDOW law enforcement to, develop some processes that helps, that requires, good investigative work, right?
Mhm.
Like, you got enough evidence, then you prosecute on it, you know?
Well, we know they can investigate a crime because we all see it.
Yeah.
So get out there and
Yeah, catching people in the act and stuff on that is, I mean, if it's, I mean, it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
So, all right. Any other further stuff on 9A?
No.
9B or 9C, anything there that you guys want to feel like we need to pull those out to discuss them? 9B is junior mule deer tag transfers. So I don't know if you got a chance to read some of that. They develop circumstances surrounding transfer of mule deer tags to junior hunters. I read through it. I didn't see really anything that I felt like was out of context or, you know, any ways anybody could take advantage of it or
oh,
anything like that. And then the heritage tag seasons and quotas, you know, I think they're kind of pretty self-explanatory. I mean, they set those, and I don't see, I can't see anything that would conflict with them setting those.
Yeah.
The
I
dates
didn't see anything.
that they're proposing. So, any thoughts?
No, I'm good with that.
All right. So we, I would say that I'd entertain a motion that for 9A, we support with exclusions. And the exclusions are that it's too stringent, it's too broad, that there needs to be exclusions for coyote, varmint, and mountain lion hunting. The 12 demerit points that they're proposing for the use of these may be a little excessive.
We're talking, so I support the bumping of the 12 points for the trail cameras as written, and then, but except with exclusions in regards to thermal imaging.
Okay. So leave the parents the way they are,
For
trail cameras.
trail cameras.
What about for thermal imaging?
Thermal imaging, we can, with the exemptions that we had discussed.
But 12 points if you get busted for it. You gonna feel the same way?
yeah,
I can support that.
I can support that.
Okay. And then 9B and 9C, we support as written.
Yes.
Can I get a motion?
I can't remember everything you said on the first one.
Oh,
I,
I move to make a motion to support 9A with the exclusions regarding thermal imaging devices and to support 9B and 9C as written.
Second.
okay, any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved. Okay, moving on to agenda item number 10. This is an informational item. The Carson City Advisory Board to Manage Wildlife will discuss commitments to meetings on August 15th and 16th to Ely. Any of you gents want to go to that?
If I was in the middle of everything.
So I am going to plan on going unless member Wilson wants to go. I will drive down there and make a trip out of it. And then September 26th and 27th in Las Vegas, I won't be able to attend that because I'll
Nor
be at
will
a
I.
conference.
No lie.
So, Member Stewart, any luck there?
I don't know on that one at this particular moment in time. I know I have some.
Reach out to
Other
member
things
Fleming
coming up.
because he got family down there. That was the last time he made a trip out of it.
Okay, so Brianna, can you do that? Can you reach out to both Member Wilson and Member Fleming and say, hey, they discussed the Ely one, going to Ely. Just remind Member Wilson that he said that he would be interested in going to that, and that if he's, can you just confirm that if he is going to go to that, attend that on the 15th and 16th, and just communicate that back to me as quickly as you can, because I will plan on going if he doesn't. So I'll be a secondary choice, and then ask maybe both of them if they can attend the Las Vegas meetings on September
26,
26th
27.
and 27th. I'm going to be speaking at a conference that week in San Diego, so unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to go to that. But And I don't even know if I can tune in, to be honest with you. I think I'm going to be pretty busy, so. Okay, and then would you just report that back to me? Thank you so much. Okay, agenda item number 11, any future agenda items or things that we need to discuss or need to have on the agenda, gents?
No, I have nothing.
I don't have anything.
Okay, seeing none, we'll go on to our last public comment period. The public is invited at this time to provide comment on any topic that relates to the matter over which this public body has supervision, control, and jurisdiction or advisory power. And seeing no people in the audience, nobody online or on the phone, right? We'll close public comment. And I would ask for a motion to adjourn at 6:05.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I second that.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion, meeting's adjourned at 6:05. Is that good enough for you?